This is Rockstar by Nickelback, and the first thing we're going to do is go through the chords that you're going to need to play the song, and from there we'll go on to the verse and the chorus, and also all the little electric fills that happen in the song. I'm going to start it off on acoustic guitar because that's how the beginning of the song starts, and then later on we'll move on to electric, but for now we're just going to stick with acoustic and go over the chords. Okay, the first chord is a G5 chord. Sounds like that. The way we build this chord is we use our third finger and our pinky on the third fret on the second string and the first strings. Then we're going to bring our first finger over here to second fret on the fifth string, that note, and then second to third fret on the sixth string. And when you play the whole chord, it should sound like this. Next up is C, and by the way, I'm doing these in the order that they come in the song. And here we have first finger, first fret, second string, second finger, second fret, fourth string, and third finger, third fret, fifth string. And we're going to strum from the fifth string down on this one. Should sound like that. The next chord in the song is F. This one's kind of tricky. You'll need to put your first finger across all of the strings right here on the first fret, second finger on the second fret on the third string, and then we're going to use third and pinky as if they were one finger, kind of use them as one unit. Here with your third on the fifth string and your pinky on the fourth string, both on the third fret. Should sound like this. And then there's a couple transitional chords. These are movable chords, meaning that you can play the chord and move that same shape around the guitar to make different sounds. There's a little example of that. And the way you want to approach this one is use your third finger on the fourth, third, and second strings. It really helps if you hyperextend it. Kind of like that, flop it over to get all three strings, and then stretch your first finger back here to the first fret on the fifth string. Now this is, I would consider, an intermediate song. So if you're a beginner, you may need to practice the chords a little more. If I went over them kind of quick, then you can always rewind the video. Or you can check out Rock Guitar Power's open chord video that Mike Deary does. Either way, those are the chord shapes you're going to need to know for the song. And it's a matter of just putting them together in the right order now. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here's the verse to Rockstar. In order, the chords that we're going to need are G, C, F, and then back to G. And then the whole thing starts over. So here it is again: G, C, F, and G. Now there's a little strum in there that sounds like this. And in just a minute, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that strum. We're going to zoom in on my right hand when we do that. So we're going to take the transition in the next segment of the video. Okay, here's the transition to the song between the verse and the chorus. It goes from a B flat chord, which is our bar chord we learned earlier in the lesson, on the first fret, and then we're going to move to third fret, same chord shape. So again, what we have here is first fret, bar chord, to third fret. And when you're coming out of the verse, here's how it would fit in. Let's just say this is the last cycle of the verse. Here it comes. we have B flat, and then this one's called C, by the way, the one on the 3rd fret. So that's how it fits into the bridge. What we'll do next is demonstrate it along with the bridge a couple times, and then after that we're going to switch over to electric guitar and work on the chorus. Okay, here's the strum for Rockstar by Nickelback. For this segment, you'll want to keep your eye on my right hand. That's where all the action is. The left hand chords are just the chords that we already learned. Now the strum goes like this. And what I'm doing slowly here is down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down. And you'll see with my right hand, there's a constant up and down motion, but we only choose to hit the strings when we want the rhythmic movement of the song to take place. And by doing that, we get a much smoother sound as we strum it along. So kind of keep your right hand moving up and down constantly, even though I said the strum was down, 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 up, down, down. You have to somehow get back so that you can do 2 downs in a row. So that means you're going to have to miss the strings on the way up on the strums where you don't want to have a sound, and you're going to have to miss them on the way down on the strums that you don't want to sound on the downstroke. Now let's take a minute and look at the left hand coordination for this. We always change chords on the down strum at the beginning of each strum pattern. What I mean by that is we're going to have the first strum pattern, switch, down strum, switch, down strum, switch, down strum. So you'll see I switch on all the downs. So there's your right hand strumming technique for the song. Let's move along to the electric guitar. Okay, here's the chorus for Rockstar. This whole chorus is power chords. So the power chord that we're going to use is similar to what we did with our transition chords, these chords where we flopped our 3rd finger over. Except here we're going to use our 1st finger on the 6th string, just like we did before. Here we're going to use 3 and 4 to finger the 5th string and 4th strings, and then we're just going to move it around, kind of like we moved this transition chord around. What this formation does is it gives it a more clear sound by just strumming 3 strings, and you have a little more of a consistency when you use these 2 fingers separately as opposed to this. Hear how that doesn't sound as powerful as. So they're the same notes, but the way you approach them with your fingers can make quite a bit of difference. Now we're going to move this chord from the 3rd fret to the 6th, to the 8th, then we're going to scoot it over so the root is on the 5th string, and pinky and 3rd are on 4th string and 3rd strings. That's 6th fret to 8th. So I'll go over that again in case you want to get some pen and paper and write it down to keep track of it. We have 3rd, 6th, eighth, sixth, and then eighth. So there we have the pattern. Now the strum for this is really easy. The chords are just sustained and held out with a 4 count of each one, and then when we get to these, we're going to count 2 for each one. And there is a little bit of a mute in there. That's when you hit the strings with your right hand, but have your left hand not pressing the strings down. And that is something like this. Let me go ahead and show you that with the right hand. So what I'm doing here with my right hand is moving up and down. However, my left hand is not pressing the chord down. When I press the chord down, it sounds like this. When I don't, we get this. So let's go back and look where those mutes fall in. Here we go, starting on the 3rd fret. The chord's going to be sustained. Mute, mute. So that's how that whole thing is going to come together. Okay, now the transition out of the chorus is the same chords that we had for the transition into the chorus. That being B flat, 1st fret, and C on the 3rd fret. So after we go through all this, we go to here, and then we're going to go back to our G, which is the 3rd fret, do the transition one more time, and then back into the verse. So what I'll do is demonstrate that for you here along with the music, so you can watch my hands as it goes and associate how the chord changes fit in. So there it is, demonstrated a couple times. I hope you caught all that. Let's move on to the lead guitar part in the verse. Okay, this is the lead guitar part over the chorus. It's primarily in the right ear if you're listening in stereo headphones. It is played along with the chords we just studied, and it's going to look like this. And let's take this slowly. It starts on 5th fret, 4th string. Then we bring our pinky up to 8th fret on the same string and pull it to the 5th fret where we started. And the way you do a pull is you pick the first note, this being the 8th fret, and then take your finger off while the string is sustaining without picking the next note. So we have pick, pull. After that, 5th string pinky, 8th fret also, and back to our first note. Then we're going to go up to pinky here. Same riff we did before. Then we're going to switch the first finger over to the 3rd string, 5th fret. Same riff. Then 8th, 8, 10, 8. And then, which was 10, 8, and back to 5. So basically we have this little figure here. Alternated with different notes that fall before it. For example, this is our first note. Alternated to here. Then we climb along with the chords. And and then hold that note for a little bit and then descend. So this part is best demonstrated along with the music so that you can figure out what's going on. So there we have it, the lead guitar that falls during the chorus. Let's move on to a different part. Okay, here we have the bridge part of the song. It's a bit hard to detect. It's actually after the second chorus. It starts on the 6th fret, root 5th string, bounce it over to 6th fret, root 6th string, back to 5th string, up to 8th fret, and 8th fret, root 5th string. Again, 6th fret, root 5th, 6th fret, root 6th, 6th fret, root 5th, 8th fret, root 6th, 8th fret, root 5th. Doesn't get much easier than that. There we have the bridge, and that's all the pieces of the song. Now we just have to put them together. Alright, the last chorus of the song is played on acoustic guitar. And basically it's the same chord progression that we just saw in the regular choruses. Except here we're going to use some bar chords. Now these chords are the same shape that we saw with F earlier, which was on the 5th fret. Except here we're moving the shape up to the 3rd fret, which is a G. And then we're going to move it up to the 6th fret, then to the 8th, and then we're going to switch over to our root 5 chord, the same chord we used in the transition, on the 6th fret, and then on the 8th fret. So we have root 6 bar chords, 3, 6, 8, and then root 5 bar chords on 6th and 8th. And then you just throw the same strum we did before in there. So there's our last chorus, the acoustic one. In the last segment of the video, I'm going to be playing along with the entire song. And I'm going to be using this Heritage acoustic electric semi-hollow body guitar to do it. And the reason for that is I can get a nice acoustic sound from it, and also a pretty good electric sound from it. The way I'm doing this is I'm using a Boss acoustic simulator on the acoustic end and a Zoom 5052 effects pedal on the electric end. So that's a good idea if you want to play through the whole song from start to finish and have it sound pretty much like the recording. Okay, so let's go ahead and play with the whole song.